Why y'all quiet? This is a discussion. The people that you go to church with and y'all slobbing all over the altar every week are having problems in their marriage. And we got to know, and I have a lot of educators in here, that everything starts with the family unit. And so it has to be one of those things to where we begin to have real talk. Not just when we leave and go to the barbershop or when we're hanging with our girls, but even in the church, because that's really where the healing takes place. Amen? And so that's one of the reasons why we're doing this. Here's another statistic that's scary because we don't talk. 1 out of every 3 marriages ends before 7 years. That's a general statistic. 1 out of every 3. How many of y'all been to 3 weddings at least this year? So one of them, statistically, they say is not going to make it. And I will tell you this, and I'm not trying to speak evil or ill on anyone, but I'll say this, the reason is because we don't talk. One of the things, and if you've ever been through this, you're going to start chuckling when I say it. One of the things that happens, I believe, a lot of times when we start talking about relationships in church, especially in church settings, we give it a very religious recipe remedy. Even when we start talking about premarital counseling, and any of my members that have been with me any length of time will tell you what they've witnessed with me. I would tell people, if you don't leave my office arguing at least 1 or 2 good times, I have not done my job. Because what happens most times in relationships is we're foggy because of the fact that we are in love. Okay? I'm going to explain this real quick and then I'm going to go into what we're going to talk about. The difference between being in love and true love. Okay? In love is the euphoric feeling that you feel because a person matches an image that you've cast forth in your mind. And so what happens most times is you ignore all red flags, you ignore all the warning signs, you ignore everything because you don't want anybody to mess up your picture. My job as a pastor, if I'm really doing it, is to mess up your picture just a little bit. Okay, boo, I know he fine, and you know, every time you see him, you see Boris Kojo with a chocolate folk. You see Morris Chestnut. I heard that's okay. We got something for you too. But here's what happens, okay? You don't talk. You're on dates and you're looking. He's so fine. Ooh, boy, she is. But nobody's talking. And so when you go into marriage with your eyes closed. The point is not to break you up, but the point is to let you know what you're getting into. Because to my single people, we're going to talk about some things tonight, but I want to tell you this. Don't think because you marry folk, they're going to change. Amen. Amen lights. Amen. Ceiling fans. I don't have none yet. The wall units. We think that they're going to change because the ring changed them, but as a matter of fact, what actually happens, the thing that gets on your nerves magnifies. Amen. When you get married. Amen. If their breath was stanky before you married them, it's going to smell like boo-boo on the stick after you married. Okay? So we have to talk and begin to understand the actual things that we're going to be dealing with and looking at, and understand as a mate that you got to learn how to compliment and not complicate. We're going to talk about that a little later.